Come on, Teddy. Enough Christmas for one day.
Okay, Mom.
I can talk. What can you do?
There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Come on, let's go to bed.
To those who mean the most to us, season's greetings from your Pepsi bottler.
Listen to the heartbeats.
And you'll hear how to get a lot more Chevy for a lot less. $350 to $1,200 less on a specially equipped new Beretta, Cavalier, or Celebrity, depending on the car you select. You could even save $1,200 on this new Corsica, with options like air conditioning, tilt wheel, and more. Couldn't you go for savings like these right now?
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
Okay, everybody, dinner break.
Warm up all your holiday activities with something new. McDonald's Holiday Chicken McNuggets. In festive 9 and 20-piece packs. Tasty chunks of chicken and 2 new sauces. Tangy cranberry with a twist of orange and sweet apple spiced with cinnamon. Better chime in before holiday McNuggets are gone.
I'd like a bike. I'd like a pony. But what I love is my bird Sony. I like pizza pie. I like macaroni. But what I love is my first Sony.
Now Sony makes small products for small people. Walkie-talkies, Walkman stereos, and cassette recorders. Specially made for kids.
I like Billy. I like Tony. But what I love is my first Sony. It won't be your last.
Who says, among other things, that men are miserable? You are miserable. You don't look so happy to me, huh?
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, but it's all a facade, because out there we are killing each other. We are drinking too much. We are not happy. We're becoming impotent at an earlier age. What do you think, Miss French? You want to start it off for us here?
I think that men don't recognize the price that they pay to belong. The brainwashing that starts when they're small boys and that denies them expressiveness, which, I mean, is all you've got in life, is to be expressive, to be emotional. If you work for institutions, you are slowly ground down into the size of the institution, the color of the institution, institutional gray. And, you know, men die younger, men are less expressive, and you know, it's a very interesting thing. If you live in a society that worships power, it tells you that that power is great, and if you just get enough of it, you'll be great, teaches you to kneel, because that's what it means to belong to an institution. That's what men have to do, defer to the man above. The man above is God. Everything he says, whether it's about your hairstyle, the church you go to, or whatever, is right and good. You have to kneel to that. You have to obey. I think men are miserable. And you know who they blame? Guess who?
You agree?
Yes, I do agree.
How about Miss Kennedy?
Well, I think that's absolutely true, and I think it's a part of what I call the pathology of oppression. The oppressor is not as happy as you might think he or she is, because you forget that oppressing people is really difficult, because they can always take the testicular approach and make you uncomfortable. And that's what women sometimes...
Testicular approach?
Yes. It's putting the pressure on that part of the anatomy that's most responsive. And even the weakest person can make you uncomfortable. That's crying of babies. Babies are as weak and impotent as they can be, and yet they can make the strongest millionaire uncomfortable, because all they do is just scream and mess up the atmosphere. And that's why oppressed women made men unhappy, and the cure is not always peaceful and easy, but I think men will be happier as women become more nearly equal, and that is the case. And I would say that with this chap, that it's actually true that many men are more comfortable than they used to be in similar circumstances. Because for one thing, people don't have to stay married, you see. And therefore, when they're really miserable, it's true you get more broken up families, but each individual learns the joy of living alone, for example. Now, the establishment insists that loneliness is a bad state of affairs, but many widows and divorcees and single women are thrilled to death to be alone.
Really? Ms. Smeel, you'd add what to these observations?
Well, that's why we're into liberation. I mean, let's face it, I feel that the fight for equality will liberate us all, and it's a good deal for both men and women, and that's why I think more men should be involved in the feminist movement, and goodness knows, I think more women should be involved.
Yeah, and that's probably why you have half the membership of now that you used to have. That's probably why you've got $1 million debt. That's probably why you are speaking to more and more empty chairs, all of you. The people don't give a damn. You are not a priority item. You are Brie and Chablis. Men make the problems and then decide which ones are the most important. And quote me, today, you are not the most important.
We don't need to be. They don't need us as much. They have more liberation. You don't need a crutch once your leg is mended. And now was a feminist crutch. And therefore, as your leg gets better, you don't have to go. You don't go to the doctor after the tooth is out.
And actually, we're not speaking to more empty chairs. It's just the reverse. You know, there's a mythology that young women take for granted the women's movement and aren't with us. In my opinion, they're more with us than ever before. And I think if they try, the Reagan administration, to actually outlaw abortion and birth control, they're going to see a movement that will explode in front of them.
But what's the matter?
I'd like to say...
Huh? But you see, the problem is you're fighting on a treadmill. I mean, Roe versus Wade was that victory. Now you're out there having all your energy drained by a problem you thought you had solved.
You don't solve problem by having dinner. I mean, you have dinner, you got to eat again. You go to the John again, then you eat again, then you go to the John again.
You know, never thought of that, Flo.
Think about it.
I think today with the women's movement, women are more oppressed because now we're expected to be homemakers, to have children, and to go out there and be vice president of AT&T. You can't let us lead our own lives.
And then when you get home, you better have the pork chops ready.
Right. That's right. We're more oppressed today.
This is not because of the... This is not because of the women's movement. This is because of an oppressive system that catches all in it. Whoever arranged the world in such a way that people should have to devote at least 5 days a week, some people 6, how many hours a day to work?
Without pay.
Well, if they're housewives without pay and it's 7 days a week and it's 24 hours a day. The whole
25.
system is built so that you and I cannot have our babies and raise them and feed them at the same time. The whole system is geared to that.
All systems
Who made
were,
the
though,
system?
Miss Friend.
No, not all systems. You're talking about patriarchal systems, and anyway, not all patriarchal systems were. When people lived in cottage industries and did their work at home, and they lived on farms, they took care of the kids. It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution, until you made people leave the house to go to work, that this sort of system began.
Right.
But the point is, why we made this system, why can't we devise a system which enables us to have pleasure in our lives, to raise our children, and to work and feed those children? Who ever said?
You have a pair of couples, maybe in the same house, maybe in 2 houses, but one couple goes into college and gets a full degree in what they call domestic engineering. This couple takes care of the home, the cooking, the maintenance of the house.
Do that?
Yeah, if I like that work.
Right.
Then the other
Well, then
couple
you...
would go to work, and both couples would share in the income of the couple.
You're doing the windows and the floor. I'm going out and get a job and find myself. I mean, how would you possibly, one thing that occurs to me is this, I think there are increasing numbers of women in the marketplace who no longer have all their eggs in the marriage basket, who have, because of the feminist movement and the early courage and gains that have been won over these several years of this moved into the corporation at an entry level which is higher, and maybe even respected for their abilities, and they're miserable.
Well, you know, that's...
They're in the system that Miss French absolutely decimates in almost all of her literature. They're in a depersonalizing system, and it is as influencing on them as it is on the men.
And at the same time that a few mainly white, mainly educated young women are entering corporate or institutional life, granted at entry level and moving up very slowly, women have become the new poor. 1/5 of our country lives below the poverty level. I don't know if you know what that means, because lots of people are poor, but below the poverty level is really poor. 80% of those people are women and children. They're paying the price for these few women. How many women are there in the Pentagon? How many are there in making bombs? Why are women's voices not heard in the upper reaches, in the upper echelons of our
Because your
society?
job is to cry on the dirt at the cemeteries when we put the boxes in, and you'll
Yes,
come back
that's right.
tomorrow and
That's
you'll cry again. You know, it's the truth. I mean, who wrote what law? Hang on. What?
Children.
What?
What's happening to the children?
Just 1 second. I'll get right back to you. Who wrote what?
Who wrote the law that we have to sit and cry at the graveside?
That's what you do.
No, we don't. Not all of us.
And you come back again tomorrow and we throw some more holy water around, and then we bury more people. Huh?
Wrong information, Phil. I don't know where you get your facts, but they're
Here,
wrong.
here.
How are you influencing?
Just the fact that Geraldine Farrar was able to run for vice president of our country, even though she didn't win. She did a fantastic job. We should all be very proud of her, regardless of our political affiliation. We've come a long way.
Look what they did to her because of her husband. It wasn't right. What does her husband's business have to do with her as a politician?
Did you ever see a campaign like that against a man? Ever see anything like that against a man?
Yeah. And you're so outraged by this that more women voted for the Reagan ticket than voted for the ticket on which Geraldine Farrar. It's the truth. It's the truth.
They were worried about Jesse Jackson, honey. Niggas scare 'em more than women ever will.
What's going to happen 10 years from now when we look back? What kind of children are we bringing up? What about all this material that we're seeing about latchkey children?
Well,
Isn't this
that's
something
because
we
you're
have to
supposed to
worry
have
about
them whether you
and
want them or
address?
not.
Yeah, but let's face it, it's not the women who are doing this. I mean, you know, when you're saying that things are worse, yeah, they are, because there's more poverty in our country. There's 22% of all children are non-poverty, but this is not the women's liberation movement. As a matter of fact, what we're trying to do is change the nation's priorities, so you won't be spending, what is it now, $400 billion a year in defense. Defense that really is just a form of piling up missiles while you have starving people.
Is the caller there? I'm glad you waited. Hi.
Hi, Phil. I'm a young woman, and I'm very angry and ambivalent about the NOW movement, basically because I'm unsure what women are supposed to be doing in the lifestyle that we're being accustomed to from our moms.
Yeah, well, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Are you married?
I'm getting married December 8th. My second marriage.
Your second marriage.
And I really think that I found a man who can respect me as a person, not looking at my genitalia, not worrying about whether or not I'm capable of bringing in the money. He is or more. He just likes me.
How old were you when you first got married?
I was 21, and I was taken away. I was swept away by someone who was not good for me.
I understand. No children?
No, thank God.
Uh-huh. Swept away, were you?
Yes. In every manner.
And what is it you said about your mother? Tell me just very briefly. How do you feel about your mother? Your mother's happy at home and...
My mother is a tremendously angry person. I think she's had a lot of opportunities go by her because she felt it was necessary to raise kids instead of...
Right. You think she's resentful now?
Yeah, I do.
So you don't want to live the life of your mother?
I have not, and I don't think I will. And I don't want to.
You got a good start, honey.
What?
You got a good start.
I got to do it somehow.
Yeah, marriage is the crock of manure, excuse the expression, that you get when you're looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you've gone twice, so lots of luck.
You know what I'm looking for? You know,
married men are much happier than married women.
We got him, Flo. We got him. Now, wait a minute. Just a minute. She's not insulting anybody.
I'm not trying to get numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a job? Does the caller have a job?
Sure I do. I have several of them, in fact.
It's what?
I have several, in fact.
Several.
You know what disturbs me about the women's movement, I think a lot of other people too, is the hate they have of men. And they even
Love
they hate,
thy enemy.
wait, and they hate that Miss French has of her own sex. I read your book, and you discuss your body as though it was something you hate. And Germaine Greer was equally the same.
I think she's condemning the system that provokes those feelings of
But
self-loathing.
listen, most of us don't feel that way. But I think these people have psychologically something wrong with them.
You do.
Yes, I do. And then they hate. They're full of hate. And then
Guess
they
why
represent
we
a
got
movement
something
which
wrong.
I never voted for you. I don't know how you got to be where you were. I'm a woman, and
It's a great hustle for me, baby. I'm doing fine. I made $60,000 a year when
But you
people were
can
telling me
speak
how I
about-
turned
then you can
everybody
speak
off.
about being-
And I'm 3 feet of intestines missing, black, old, broken down, ugly, teeth
You're not.
missing,
You're not at
all
all.
those things.
You're not-
And so y'all know the answers, and I made it a hustle. And believe me, women that are feminists are doing better economically, and we don't have to get insulted and abandoned and beaten the hell out of by men.
Nobody wants that, but let's be humanists, not
Yeah.
feminists,
But
and that's
humanists, give me
let's
a
be
break.
humanists, please. The men
But
deserve something
that's
too.
language. That's
not
language. Well, what have you done to promote humanist values lately?
What have I done? Oh, I'm not speaking about general humanism. I'm speaking about that a man has just as much, is suffering and has his problems just as much as women.
Exactly.
But the idea of going and picking on men and putting them
How
down.
about the Pentagon? Is the Pentagon picking on men?
Mrs. Kennedy
Is
did.
Pentagonorrhea picking on men?
What did you say about marriage being the, what do you call
Well,
it?
it was,
somebody
it's her-
needs to give you pause.
Making hundreds hour a year
All right,
or
what
something,
the-
whatever you
let's-
make.
let's see if we
darling.
can-
You can live well on that.
Miss Meal wanted to say.
Well, what I was saying is that you're saying we're picking on men. Actually, we come in all different, you know, lifestyles. I happen to be married for 22 years.
Yeah.
That isn't neither good nor bad. The reality is we know what's happening with marriage in our society. 50% of all married women end up in divorce. And what we're saying is
after
that
the
women
divorce-
have to be able to take care of themselves. And there is no free rides, and there's no reason for women to have to work for, what do we work for now? 64 cents.
No, but
What every man makes.
This is fine. I mean, we.
Yeah, but you're
most of
standing
us
up and
agree.
saying, "Oh, the poor men."
But look at what
No, I
happens
didn't
after the divorce. This is the
No,
most
I'm
important.
just saying that there's so
Men
much
get richer by, I think, 26% after a divorce. Women,
72%.
72%.
72%.
And women get poorer. And who feeds the children? That's what I want to know. How many men abandon their families after a divorce? How many men really take care of their children after a divorce?
Most do not.
Most don't, yes.
But the fact is, we have the choice now. Before, we didn't have that choice.
Here,
Our
here.
choice was just to stay home. Now, we could work. I have a daughter that's going to go to college. She says, Mommy, I want to get a career and I want to have children. I want to do both. I didn't have that choice. We have the choice. Now, that's what that did for us and more.
The choice, though, is not a real choice because you cannot have children and have a job and do the two jobs satisfactorily given the current system. And that's why we have to change that system.
Hang on. What? Kids, what?
The children are the ones that suffer when a mother has to go out to work every day and has to take care of them.
Yeah, but why is it? Why don't we make a reference to the father?
What do you mean as far as?
Well, in other words, you said the children suffer when the woman has to go out.
Well, I have a friend. I have friends that they work all day and their husbands stay home. I mean, it's whatever is
many?
better for the couple.
What percentage? Give me a break.
Why do you...
Why
does
what?
she automatically say the children suffer? Actually, there is no data to show that. As a matter of fact, you can, if you're a mother and you are happy and you have a lifestyle that's enriching, you set a model for your children.
Why would you have children then? In other words, if you have children, you
Because you
gotta
wanna
stay
eat.
home. That's the way it should be.
I
What?
believe you should raise your children.
Yeah.
You have to eat is the reason.
Strangers, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, how about the?
Why bother having children? That's why I didn't have any children. I'm working. I'm not going to have a child and have someone else raise them.
Right.
What about the women who have no choice, the ones who have to go to work? Who sets up the daycare in towns? It's usually men on planning boards who say, no, a woman can't have a daycare center in her house.
Yeah.
They don't provide the after-school care, so that a woman who has to work has no choice.
Yeah, hang on.
The authors I just read of I'm Okay, You're Okay.
Yeah.
The woman feels that you should stay home until the child's about 6 years
You
old.
agree with that?
That's what I did.
The women should stay home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, one or the other.
What?
Why should a woman stay home and not a man?
No, a man would be fine, too, if they were willing.
Yeah.
If they're willing.
Economically, that's what's doing it. It has really...
Please, can we just hear the woman, please.
Economically, you end up having to have two people work unless you're very lucky. So it would be great if both the man and the woman could take a little bit of a share in it. And the children are losing out if they don't have a father, too.
But men think about this in terms
A lot
of,
of
well,
fathers
it's a
wanna spend time.
woman's job, just as a lot of women think. And they never think in these terms, that upon women is laid the entire responsibility for the future of the human race. I mean, what children are and what they represent isn't just, you know, sweet little domestic things, as all of us know who've raised them. It's a real job to raise children. It takes a lot of
You
thought.
don't get paid, that's why it's not a real
And you don't get
job.
paid. But that is the most important thing a culture does, is to raise the future generations. And who has the responsibility for this? And how much is this valued in our culture? A culture which spends 90% of its budget on weapons and nothing on its children.
Yes.
My extra job is taking care of babies for mothers that go to work.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what they miss every day with these little babies.
You think so, huh?
They do. They miss a lot.
What do they
And
miss?
The babies wind up calling somebody else mommy.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Do they call anybody else daddy?
Sometimes.
Do you understand the point? We do seem to be. I'm not arguing this. Is it because of the ovaries that the woman should stay home? That's your feeling.
No, it's a job that you pick. If you pick to get married
Well, what
and
about
have
him?
your children.
Didn't he pick to get married and have children? I'm sorry.
They're both parents. It doesn't matter who stays
I
home.
think it does matter to you, though.
No, you both can't stay home.
So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the woman stays.
Why can't they both stay home on different days and both work on different days? Why can't they?
Yeah.
You know, I became a parent. I became a parent 45 years ago. My husband was a different breed. He was cooperative, even though he traveled. He helped raise the children. He did all the chores that his generation did not do.
Yeah.
Today's young generation...
Where'd you find this guy?
God was good. Today's young generation of fathers, regardless of their incomes, and I see them as my neighbors, are helpful, are cooperative, take the garbage out, go to the wash machine.
Not much time.
The businesses have not cooperated at all.
No, they haven't.
Recently, I visited the huge corporate headquarters of a very large company. You could get born, live, and die in that building, except for one thing, no daycare center.
Naturally.
Yeah. Are you there? Hi, I'm glad you waited.
Yes, Bill. The discussion that's going on right now, I think there's a very simple answer to why the husbands can't stay home. If the woman is going to work, she's going to make $6 to $10 an hour. The husband may be making 30. So how could there be a choice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, my original, I wanted to comment on your original statement that the women's movement is dying out. I don't believe that. I believe that what happened is there was a division between women and between those that chose to stay home and don't have to go to work and those that did go to work, and that the original issues became lost in women feuding with each other.
Yeah.
Horizontal hostility is called.
I think now that the respect for the woman at home is coming back, and that the woman at home, I've heard you say many times,
Yeah.
baking muffins.
But the culture doesn't respect it. Let's not kid ourselves. We don't respect it.
Well,
a woman who stays home is a woman in hair curlers who reads magazines and watches soap operas.
Well, I think
That's how we... It isn't about whether it's true, it's about the appearance. It's what we think.
I think that's changing now, and I know in my
And if
own
you're still
household,
not terrified, Rambo is our latest role model for me. Imagine him picking up your daughter. Do you want your daughter to...
Rambo.
I came for Debbie. I want Debbie to love me the way I love her.
What?
Why do we have a drug and alcohol abuse program nowadays? Because more and more mothers are in the working field and
That's
not
the
home,
reason?
and the children
So the
come...
mothers are the cause of our children's drug abuse.
Absolutely.
Are the fathers the cause of anything? What are the fathers' cause?
No, but the
The
mothers...
fathers just hard-working guys trying to make a living, and we're pretty nice
But if
people.
the mothers were home after school hours and attended to their children, they would
What about the mothers who can't afford
Well,
it?
then both parents should be
What
after
about the
child.
allies of this country that get paid off with a franchise of drugs from the Golden Triangle around Vietnam and Cambodia and Laos to the Miami Triangle with South America? That's the way we pay off our fascist Confederates throughout the world
illicit
with
drugs,
the
you think?
drug franchise. And I'll tell you, Nancy Reagan does a good job talking about it. She could turn over in bed and take a few billion out of the Pentagon and cure the whole. It's up to my little sister Joy Kennedy to write a rap song about the chemical crutch while she runs around with her ladies' tea and sewing circle. The women are ignored, and my sister's anti-feminist. She doesn't want to do anything about prostitution. She's scared to death of lesbians and everything else. And yet every woman is changed by the changed atmosphere. You don't have to be in the movement to be changed by feminism.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
The great furniture cover-up. When polishing can't solve problems, you have to cover those ugly white rings, or maybe the whole dull table. But instead of covering your furniture,
Rescue it with Formby's Furniture Facelift. Facelift is a breakthrough, a complete kit for a perfect shine. And the 3 easy steps took me under an hour without stripping. So pick up some facelift and end the great furniture cover-up.
when polishing won't help, a furniture facelift will. From Homer Formby.
You know how terrific that turkey sandwich tastes after Thanksgiving? Well, now you can enjoy a turkey sandwich that good any day of the year with Lewis Rich sliced turkey. It's cooked and sliced for you. Delicious, up to 95% fat-free. It's naturally lean. So, for the ultimate turkey sandwich, you don't have to wait till after Thanksgiving. But you do have to wait till after math.
It took Louis Rich to make turkey so right.
Dynamite.
I want to give you this Pierre Cardin designer alarm clock telephone free. If you've been thinking about buying an adjustable bed or a quality flatbed, even looking for a flatbed bargain on sale, preview our beds and get our price before you buy. Then, even if you don't buy your adjustable bed from Craftmatic, I'll send you this Pierre Cardin alarm clock telephone free. Compare quality and price, and you'll find Craftmatic beds to be superior to any other adjustable bed on the market today. This Craftmatic 2 adjustable bed is so inexpensive, it's like buying a quality flatbed and getting the adjustability for free. So pick up your phone and call us toll-free and get your free Craftmatic bed catalog and this free coupon for your free alarm clock telephone. Call for your free Pierre Cardin alarm clock telephone coupon right away.
In U.S., call 1-800-228-1900, 1-800-228-1900. In Canada, call 1-800-268-6367, 1-800-268-6367.
Hi, I'm glad you called. Go ahead.
Okay, certain women need a push, okay? I've been married for over 8 years now, and my wife, from the beginning, I've been training her. She took the cosmetology. She's taken the cosmetology station. She passed. I got her a business. She's doing great now. I don't know if it was whether it was for me or not. But
Yeah, what did you train her to do?
I trained her to take the examination. I sat her down. I asked her the questions. She passed with flying colors.
I sat her down, and then I stood her up.
I guarantee you one thing.
Yeah. Wait, hang on a minute.
He trained her or he helped her? Give me a break.
What
You
happened
help
to
someone.
support?
What happened to support?
But women don't, by nature, women don't, they need a push.
I guarantee you, the people that are up there sitting right in them 3 chairs, I guarantee you they're up there because of something that some man did within the past stages of their life.
Well, let me say this. First place, there is no question but that many men do inspire women to step out, and we shouldn't be howling and humming. The fact is that many men persuade women to be more aggressive and more impressive. It is also true that many men, as a control mechanism, will help a woman to get ahead, to add to the income. We don't need to be so hostile to men because we give birth to them, we marry them, we do little horizontal romantic things with them. And so, you know, there's no point in ridiculing every single man that comes to speak.
No, but this was, this
Well,
is...
darling, I mean, it's stylistic.
Miss
Title that I saw recently, instead of male-assisted birth, it was male-guided or male-controlled birth. That's what this man sounds like. A woman, I mean, I was married once. I helped my husband get through law school. I sat there with them with the book answering. What I would never say, I trained him to be a lawyer. What kind of language is this?
Yeah. This book
But
is...
I think he's probably doing better than he's
The book, may I call your attention to Beyond Power on Women, Men, and Morals. This is Marilyn French's book. Did we take the picture? Yes.
Well, this man is giving soft fuzzies to himself. He's not really talking about his wife.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he trained her instead of being supportive of her. Yeah. And I resent that.
You know, I mean, we resent our friends and our husbands. Why don't we resent the Pentagon and the banking commissions and all these people that really control us all? What he said is not at all bad. Good Morning White America is directed almost entirely to men. We're fussing about this guy that tries to say something, he didn't use the right word. Give him a break, for God's sake. Let him think he trained her. Who cares?
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Starving Artist Group Emergency Liquidation Art Sale. For one day only, save up to 50%. Huge sofa-size original oil paintings from $19. Smaller paintings from $3. Thousands of beautiful original oil paintings by professional artists. Absolutely no painting over $39. Starving Artist quality at rock-bottom Starving Artist prices.
Emergency Liquidation Art Sale this Sunday at the Holiday Inn Farmington Hills, the Fairlane Manor in Dearborn. Also at the Holiday Inn Troy and the Georgian Inn in Roseville. This Sunday only, 11 to 4.
It's a 7-hour New Year's revolution in fine quality furniture pricing New Year's Day at Dobbs Furniture's giant warehouse and showroom in Troy. Every department, every name brand will be on sale. Save 40% on this beautiful Thomasville bedroom group and this elegant dining room. Save 30% on flex steel sofas, modulars, recliners, and sleepers. Come on up New Year's Day for the sacrificial 7-hour sale from 11 till 6 at the giant Troy location of Dobbs Furniture.
Now, at Beckwith Evans, for 24 hours only, 12 to 60% off every carpet, every remnant, every vinyl. Save 35% on this deep Saxony of Monsanto stain blocker nylon in 18 magnificent colors. Only $12.99 a yard installed with pad. Save $7 a yard installed. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. At Beckwith Evans, buying carpet has never been easier.
Detroit, where each day brings us together, where we return to those places we've made a tradition of celebration, of relaxation, of appreciation. But at the end of the day, there's one Detroit tradition more of a share than any other.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Bond.
And I'm Robbie Tiller.
Channel 7 Action News at 5.
You know, it isn't funny when you think about it. We really do have ourselves some awful problems. I mean, think of what we're handing our children. Not only a debt, but 50,000 warheads as well. We are obviously scared to death of each other. There is no other explanation for this behavior. I mean, did you ever see an F-14 up close? Rockets and windows and bomb bays.
And they don't work half the time.
Yeah, but what is this? What is this? And it's all male.
But that's why we shouldn't make this a battle of the sexes.
That's what? That's what?
That's why we shouldn't make this a battle between the sexes. It isn't. What the women's movement is all about is for people to get a better shake and that the values be more people-oriented.
Yeah.
One thing about you said Margaret Thatcher was a male, and she started...
So did Indira Gandhi, and so did Golda Meir. That's true. 3 women.
one thing I got to ask about, though, is that early this morning, a lot of women raised their hands, said they were in favor of the feminist movement. But more women voted against the feminist movement in the last presidential election.
And that tells you what?
The gender gap vote really let us down.
Let him make his point. What is your point?
I think that the feminist movement, women are the biggest enemy of the feminist movement right now. They need more consciousness raising, and that
To some extent,
if women,
that's true.
how can women vote for an administration where I believe the guy was the head of the Labor Department, where he said equal pay is as Looney Tunes. And the women's vote is what got the Reagan administrations in. That's the big
Men.
Okay.
Let's face it.
Let's face it.
Let's face it, it's men who are supporting the right wing of this country. There is a gender gap, and far more men are supporting the conservative reactionary movement than women. And the only Democratic victories or liberal victories were where the majority of women voted for the Democrat. What's happening is the country's going to the right, and it's because it's so well financed. That's what you're seeing on television all the time. They've got the money for the 30-second and 60-second spots.
I don't know if it's so much that. I think we have more males today who are getting ground up by this depersonalized, established order that you've all talked about and written about. And when you start to lose self-esteem, there's a lot of males out there that have only one response to that kind of humiliation. And it's aggressive, and it's angry, and it's throw the bums in the slammer. Politically, that's the approach.
Rambo is a premature ejaculator. He's the ones that run around. That's the answer to impotence, Rambo.
In other words, when a guy's having trouble upstairs, this is what he does.
Downstairs, honey, below the belt.
Yeah.
We've spent a lot of time talking about the problems, which we all know exist,
Right.
but what do you offer as solutions?
I think that, Flo Kennedy here is the woman who many years ago coined the term horizontal hostility, which she's used several times tonight. She was talking about mainly black people who attack black people or burn down black neighborhoods when they're really angry with the system.
Feminists that attack lesbians, don't forget.
Feminists that attack lesbians or prostitutes or whatever. We all do it. We get angry at the people next to us or like us rather than get angry at Big Daddy, or if in the case that it should be a woman, Big Mommy. There are only 2 or 3 of them in the world, but we'll include them. But what we are doing is we're set at each other's throats. We blame each other for the miseries of our lives. We married the wrong man, we married the wrong women. Why do these kids have to cry so much? We blame each other for things that are really being done to us from the outside. And everything in our culture forces us to blame ourselves instead of looking at what they are doing to us. We could do that, but they don't want us to. And I noticed in this room today, 3 or 4 times, several of us have tried to get the argument onto another plane, but it comes back to, well, women should stay home with the children, or men should take the garbage out, or whatever. This is not the point. They are leaving us with a world that is nothing but a bristling armed camp, on the one hand. Water, drinking water in the United States, 50% of it is polluted, some of it irreversibly. Acid rain is killing our trees and forests and our fish. What kind of world are we leaving our children, and what kind of children are we raising for that world who were raised on a television
And
that
why
is full
are
of
they committing
violence?
suicide?
The problems are real and they're serious, but we're all afraid because we feel powerless. And to answer the woman who says, what do you have to do? Read my book, okay? Do it. Argue with me. Write me a letter if you think I'm wrong. I'll answer you no matter what you say. Think about having a little power. Think about getting yourself out there and doing something to change the way the world is. It is not enough to fight with each other.
We'll be back in just a minute.
X-Lax presents some gentle guarantees. The warmth of the new sun waking the sleep from your body. The cool freshness of the morning air. And now the peace of mind that comes from the X-Lax guarantee. Taken at bedtime, X-Lax is guaranteed to work gently, effectively, by 8 a.m. or your money back. So in this uncertain world, isn't it nice to know you can relax with a family friend? X-Lax, guaranteed to work by 8 a.m.
New York Carpet World closed early Thursday to prepare for our spectacular New Year clearance sale. We've marked down hundreds of carpets, plushes, Berbers, patterns, cut to $7, $5, even $3 a yard. You get New Year savings and padding's free. Get New Year savings and you don't need cash, not 1 red cent. Plus, a year of credit is free, no interest or finance charge. Now's the time. Clearance prices and free pad with no money down and credit free for a whole year. Tremendous New Year savings through Saturday only at New York Carpet World.
If you do anything, if you dance, you'll do it better. People come to me for my experience, for being a professional. I fought for years to get this training. Now I have it. I want to pass on the traditions that were given to me. You can buy the shoes, but we make you a dancer. You can call the Betty Johnston Dance Studio at 476-3230.
New Vision would like you to take the following optical test. First, cover your right eye and focus on the object. Next, cover your left eye and concentrate. Now, put both hands down and hold on to your chair. Because right now at New Vision, a pair and a spare of clear plastic single vision eyeglasses are just $89.95. And 2 pairs of daily wear contacts are just $89.95 at New Vision. This concludes your test. Call 1-800-EyeCare-RX for the New Vision nearest you in Greater Detroit.
From all of us at Channel 7, have a happy holiday made in Detroit.
I'm glad you called. And let me say again, Beyond Power is Marilyn French's latest contribution to this thing. This is incidentally a very well-reviewed book. If I can just get... Hello, I'm sorry you had to wait so long. Go ahead.
Thank you. Bill, I just wanted to say the feminist movement was started by white women who decided one day they wanted to go to work. Years and years, black women have been working to support their family, and we know what working below the poverty level means. Yeah. But no one came to our support. No one said, let's get a movement going. All of a sudden, when the white woman decided she wanted to work, she wanted to earn some more...
Yeah, but well, I don't know why you're mad at them. I mean,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just making a statement. Where was the feminist movement when we needed it? Where was the feminist movement when we were struggling and we were working below the poverty level and we had to raise our children and we needed to daycare?
Okay. Anything?
Well, I just came this morning, 2 o'clock, 12 hours from Mobile, Alabama here, from a NOW meeting, state NOW meeting. Black women from the coalition of 100 black women, square, beautiful, lovely clothes, by many standards overdressed. The white women were in the jeans. The black women were beautifully dressed. There is a coalition that's going to knock the socks off. Rosa Parks, 30 years ago, started Alabama on what became the biggest movement and most successful economic boycott ever. And next year is going to be the 30th anniversary. Black people, white women, and all are going to have a national boycott against media and the whole thing. And believe me, coalition is all over the country. And the fact that media have removed the rattle from the snake doesn't mean that the women aren't on the move together with black people.
Ellie, you wanted to say?
Well, there's no question that the feminist movement and the black movement are joining, and for major reasons. I mean, when the president attacks affirmative action and when they are cutting back the guarantees, for example, there was a prohibition on federal funding of discrimination programs. Now they have gutted that. And so the women's movement, the civil rights movement, the movements of people are uniting. And there's no question about it. This woman is, I think, totally out of date, thank God.
Hold on.
Also, historically, the women's movement began with the abolition movement. In 1848, one of the major points of the women's movement, when it first began in this country, was the abolition of slavery.
But she's not out of date because the black man was put in when the white woman ran in Mobile by the Republicans. They put a black man, so the fight is still on.
Yes,
I just think the lack of support from the women is due to the fact that a lot of us women are very confused.
I think so, too.
I really support the women's movement on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm having children, and I feel guilty about leaving them.
Why do you feel guilty?
I think probably because everybody's an egotist, and no one thinks that anyone else could take care of their children as well as they can. And it's a difficult thing to do. So I had a very successful job before I decided to have children, and I waited till I was in my 30s to have children.
But you seem to be publicly kind of defensive about what are your intentions? To stay home with the child and
I think I should until they're old enough to, really be on their own and be able to come home and,
You can afford it.
I can. My life would be much easier if I went out and worked. Right. As it is now, of course I'd like to have more money and more things to do, but I have this guilt feeling that I just feel I could raise my children better.
I understand. What is it that the women's movement has done to you?
Well, it's made me more aware of this, and it makes
me... What's the downside?
The downside is that it's making me feel guilty on the other hand that I shouldn't be home raising my children. I should be out working,
movement. We're not doing that. As a matter of fact, we're the people who are fighting for adequate insurance programs, for parental leave programs, for people to value raising children, and for homemakers to get credit for it. You're being confused not by us, but by a propaganda machine that says we're the enemy. We're not the enemy. We're trying to make women's work valuable. That's the value of taking care of children.
Well, and I think you've done...
I feel that you're accusing them of making you feel guilty.
No, that's. I was young enough or old enough, let's say, to remember when this whole thing started, and I really feel that in 20 years we've come a long way, and I think that it takes a long time to get a society to change, and I think in another 20 years.
Yeah, but that's the different thing. Now you're bailing out from what you said.
No.
No, please. Let's just this is pretty important. Yeah. I guarantee you it is important to Miss Meal, because if the movement is suggesting somehow that you're some kind of, what do we want to say, less than average person, or somehow not good because you're staying home to raise your children, then you do misunderstand the movement, and it's really not fair to them.
I'm sorry if I said it that way, but I do understand the movement, and I really supported 85% of it. I really do support it.
And the 15% is what?
15% is not going to keep me from voting for it.
But what is the 15%?
Helping us. It's just the idea that we have to be super women.
Sibling rivalry, that's what it is.
I really feel that women have to we have to work really well and raise our children too, and men just have to go out there and work.
We're the people saying that women should be allowed to be mediocre and paid for what they're worth so that they don't have to work 2 jobs at one time.
Oh, I agree. I did make good money when I
worked. If you agree, you know what? You should stop fighting it and join us. We need help from people like you.
Believe me, I'm just saying that this is why I feel that when it comes to the voting ballot, that the support isn't there, because I feel a lot of women are confused.
All right. Well, let me tell you, I understand, and that I work outside of the home, too. And where do you have the time to really get to these meetings? I have guilt because I'm not part of the feminist movement. I go to work, and I...
Send a check on it.
I was just going to say, send a check.
Hang on just a second.
But you seem so angry at us, I also go out to work. I have a family. I'm stressed like you wouldn't believe. Because my husband is home, and he supports me, but not 100%. He's not making the bed, and he's not doing the laundry.
Yeah.
But he's saying it's okay. We don't need a great meal today.
Yeah, and that's real honest. I appreciate very much what you're saying.
But that isn't
now,
the
hold on
women's
just a moment. What's the problem with the movement?
I don't think there's a problem. I just don't feel like I don't have, and it's probably a cop-out, I don't have the time and the energy to get in there. I go to other meetings. I'm a dental hygienist. I go to hygienist meetings. Mm-hmm. Who has all that time to do that?
I see.
And I don't have the money to send you that check.
Oh.
I have time to...
But you can talk us up wherever you are. In other words, there's a lot of ways you can help us.
And I don't like the label of saying, yes, I'm a feminist,
Cut
and
down
I'm
on
this.
your Thanksgiving meal.
Why don't you like
Cut down on the calories and all the shopping. Cut down on your holiday meals and stop spending your money with the establishment that spends 10 cents out of every dollar on advertising for shows that make you think fuckability is the most important thing in the world.
Flo, I've got to come back tomorrow. We'll be back in just a moment. Time for the hymn.
How smart a shopper are you? Be honest. How do you know which TV to buy, which microwave, which refrigerator, when you're faced with all the different models and different prices?
I find it's very confusing to shop.
Very frustrating.
Confusing.
I know nothing about stereos that I'm supposed to buy today.
Cut through the confusion before you go shopping. Call this toll-free number for Consumer Reports' 1988 Buying Guide issue. It's yours free with your paid subscription to Consumer Reports, the magazine smart consumers turn to, whether they're shopping for a new car or a new phone.
I wish I'd have had this before I bought one of my other phones, because I wouldn't have bought it.
Call to get 12 monthly issues, including our latest product reports and the year-end Buying Guide issue when published, plus the 1988 Buying Guide issue and the Medicine Show, free with your paid subscription, all for just $18.
It's one of the very few objective sources of information you can get.
Call 1-800-237-7100.
Just to be cruel, Art Van is showing you all the savings you missed at our biggest sale of 1987. Now, just to be kind, Art Van is going to repeat the sale on New Year's Day for 7 hours only. It's your last chance to save more than any other sale of the year. Art Van's New Year's Day sale, Friday, January 1st only, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Art Van will even pop for the sales tax.
Son, I figured when you were old enough, I'd talk to you about drugs. I'd tell you they're nothing but poison. Tell you to stay away from the garbage that pushes that junk. Only I never figured that I ought to be telling that to a 13-year-old.
If you don't teach your kids to say no to drugs, it's as good as saying yes.
Beyond Power is Marilyn French's look at where we've been, where we are, and where she thinks we're going. It is not a book that will make you smile. This is, how do you feel about what you've seen here, Miss French? I mean, just
I feel very encouraged. Last time I visited you was about 8 years ago, and there's a very different feeling in the audience. But I do think, again, there's confusion. I mean, I'm listening to all this stuff about Superwoman and how the feminist movement is making people feel they have to be Superwoman. It's not the feminist movement, it's the advertisers on television who show you in this gorgeous gown and this taking care of the child and running off to work and coming in, you know, as fresh as a daisy at 8 o'clock, ready to go out for dinner. Who could do this? I mean, no real woman. It's got to be a bunch of guys in an office that are offering you this image. It's not us.
Anything?
Well, I just think that we are all politicized by men in skirts, whether it's the Pope, the priest, or the judge. And we are afraid to express our hostility to them, so we turn it on us. And I can take it, frankly, honey, because it pays off.
Yes.
Well, I think that for those people who aren't confused, they should join the feminist movement. By the way, we're going to have a huge march on Washington to show this country is not for making abortion illegal or controlling women's birth control.
You don't like the march? Well, what, you know...
The thing that bothers me is I want to know what happened to this lady that made her so bitter. I'm scared of this lady. What did I do? What did my father do to make this lady so bitter?
We're not bitter.
You want to hang on, just a
We're bitter at the Pentagon. You're not important enough for us to be bitter.
You think it's boring? You don't look bored to me. You look mad.
I look mad because of her attitude. Everything, you have such a nasty and cold attitude about everything that's going on.
I agree with just what she said. And why does she have to have this extrovert?
Hang on, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm almost...
I don't think it's so much the advertisers that are making the women feel like they have to be
Excuse me just a moment. How do you feel about what's just been said here? That's pretty angry stuff here.
I think her vocabulary needs some buffing up.
Oh, they're angry at your language, Flo.
That language is for Nixon. That language is for men. They can use it. Nixon had words I didn't even know about. You accepted it. The Italian ambassador called the PLO people sons of bitches. Nobody complained about that.
One question for Miss Kennedy. Have you ever been married that you feel so
I was married to a Welsh
towards
drunk.
the men?
Who's hostile? My best friends are men. All of them. I got more men friends than you
But
have.
if you had a good marriage, and then you would know what life is about.
Again. You don't want me to use that word again. That's what I'm telling you.
No, don't use the word again, please.
Oh, look at the time. I gotta get some Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Nitol helps you feel drowsy so you can get your Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
During Kmart's After Christmas half-price sale, our regular low prices are cut in half. You'll save half on Cannon bath ensembles and on solid oak bath accessories. The After Christmas half-price sale, where you really clean up.
It's a 7-hour New Year's revolution in fine quality furniture pricing New Year's Day at Dobbs Furniture's giant warehouse and showroom in Troy. Every department, every name brand will be on sale. Save 40% on this beautiful Thomasville bedroom group and this elegant dining room. Save 30% on flex steel sofas, modulars, recliners, and sleepers. Come on up New Year's Day for the sacrificial 7-hour sale from 11 till 6 at the giant Troy location of Dobbs Furniture.
Help you? Fill her up. I know you. You on TV? Sometimes. Sure. You won millions of dollars from that, No, American Family Publishers. Oh, yeah, the one with Ed McMahon.
That's right. I personally awarded David $10 million. Watch for the sweepstakes with my picture. You may be next. $10 million, all yours. Enter before January 29th.
A 5-alarm fire is now burning out of
The
control.
victims from the fire have been taken to
3
Southwest.
firemen killed in Detroit.
It is a tragedy.
3 police officers being held hostage.
We've heard a number of gunshots. What is the condition of the 3 injured?
Shot to death. Murdered. A plane crash. A terrible disaster.
It was all over in less than a minute.
That little girl is the only survivor.
We are living a moment of history.
Peace be with you.
God bless America.
Do you know where your last meal came from? From out of the blue? Across the water? Across the border? Or did it come from more familiar ground? Michigan produces and processes enough delicious variety for 3 different meals a day for a year. So why eat food that's better traveled than you are? Buy Michigan. There's nothing like the great taste of home.
If you would like a written transcript of today's program, send $2.50 in check or money order to Donahue Transcripts, Box 2111, Cincinnati, Ohio 45201. Include the subject or the name of the guest with your request.
Beyond Power is Marilyn French's latest book. Show them your T-shirt, Flo.
Yeah, this is the date of Ronald Reagan's last day. Mobile now, the squares in the South. Yeah. Honey, feminism is just starting.
Over here, please.
We have to start using some of our power, I think, in ways that Ms. French is talking about.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
We have to say we're not...
When it comes to thinking of new ways to crash test cars, no one goes farther than Volvo. Volvo, a car you can believe in.
Use quality True Test Easy Care paint for Easy Does It painting in 3 finishes and many decorator colors from True Value hardware stores and home centers.
The Drake offers an exciting weekend in New York at a special price. The only Swiss hotel on Park Avenue. For reservations, call 800-DRAKE-NEW YORK or 212-421-0900.
They're so divided that they can't have their family and their ability to work.
The preceding program was pre-recorded.
At Walt Lazar Chevrolet, it's time to pass on the super dealer costume.